So, we just came back from Basque, where we did Olinada and Rainbow Bridge. And it was really important for you to come to Montserrat after. It was part of the plan. Why?
Well, Montserrat, which means the cat mountain, is like, yeah, it's a mount that is all cut in pieces. Represents the dragon, and for me, since I was 15 years old, it is the place where I come here to ask, what is my next step? What should I do? So the first time that I came here was I just turned 15, and when I came here, I felt Merlin. I felt all the alchemists and magicians and the Holy Mother and all of that, and all of them were telling me, every time that you start something, come here. And for me, the task that we did in the Basque Country, in Bilbao, was like a culmination for me to understand what is my path within. So, so now I can reset and restart a new one.
And what is the restart and the reset? We were just in the eye, and Merlin returned, and what did Merlin share?
Well, Merlin said, the dragon, the first time that I came here, said, the dragon, it's only destructive when you don't, but if you see Buddha in the center, if you sit like Buddha and take a deep breath, like the Buddha that is there, and take a breath, all the Kundalini, all the dragon, remains in line, so it's perfect. So you have the power within, and it's not trying to control outside. So the first time that I came here, he said, here begins the path for you from north to south. So walk all the world from north to south until you anchor the dragon at the end of the world. And this time, he said, you have to do it in the opposite.
Yeah, he said south to north.
South to north. And as the dragon lights up and burns the old, you have to sow the seeds and the eggs for the new.
Mm.
So it's not me.
Yeah.
It's he said it's a rounded table of many rounded tables that consciousness is the only one that goes through everyone. So sometimes it's going to be me, sometimes it's going to be someone else, sometimes it's going to be someone else, and a table, maybe another table disappears, and so on. So I could recognize that the power is shared by everyone in consciousness. It's
Yeah.
just a photon crossing through the ocean, and we are just the drops.
And he said it was like a wave.
It was like a wave.
Yeah.
So I guess, and he said, now you know what is the next step for you to rebuild the path, opening the doors with building the temples of eggs with the right music. So the time machine works with the right sound.
What does the Temple of Eggs actually mean?
It's basically to use all the sacred geometry to go back to the original shape, which is the combination of two spirals of mathematics, which is Fibonacci and Lucas sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that eventually we will all have to rebuild temples, but this time in the shape of eggs.
Physical.
Yes.
Wow.
So let's see. Yeah.
And you also were here when you filmed the Remember series,
Yes.
which is now available for everyone to watch. And so what is it like returning here again since that time? Like, what's the significance of that?
Well, we just worked with all the darkness, and we integrated the darkness as part of the path in the best way possible. Very harmonized with the inner power. So what I spoke here before, the last time that I came here, was I need to balance both the dark and the light in one. And for me, when I did that in the Basque country, was like the recognition that my two lineages, masculine and feminine, comes from the Basque country.
Yeah.
And the Basque country for me is very important because the language and the people, they come directly from a line from Atlantis. So actually that's why I remember, because of the cells and the memory of that land. And when they gave me this staff of power, which says hitsa, hits, which is the verb is the creator, the word is the most important thing. So for me it was like the unification of dark and light, and feminine and masculine. And coming here, the last time that I explained things from here was to face the dragon, to face the darkness.
Yeah.
And I think that I did it in the whole process. So it was like, he said, now you have the stuff of both.
Right. And we will go so much deeper into what happened in Basque in a later podcast episode. This is just a tidbit. But also I wanted to ask, because we are starting a new path now, what should people watch the Remember series so they can start the new path?
Yeah, I would recommend to kind of start following the beginning of my journey.
Yeah.
So they can understand the next step of the journey. So I would invite to everyone to not only watch the Rememberer, but also to read again the Yo Soy, for example. So two of the main things that I think everyone has to understand in order to go through the next stage.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Gracias,
Thank you.
equipo.
Gracias.
Gracias. Gracias.